welcome back to another segment of Veterans Did You Know? My name's Dave Eling, and I'm the Director of the Muskegon County Department of Veterans Affairs. Today we're out at Baker College, and we're going to talk about educational benefits for veterans, and where to go and what to do, and what to look for as far as furthering your education. And today our guests are with me is Christy Fogg and Catherine Jacobson. Ladies, thank you for having us out at Baker College. What a fine facility you have out here. This is my first time seeing it since you've done the modifications and revamped it. It's a beautiful campus you have here.
Thank you. We're very proud of it.
Well, what we want to talk about today, ladies, is I have a lot of vets that come back from Afghanistan and Iraq, and they got the GI Bill now since 9/11. We've got the new GI Bill in place, and so there's some great educational benefits for vets, and a lot of them I don't think about using those until they get back. They can't find a job, and they just don't know where to go, where to get started. Come back and think, well, I have these GI Bill, and I can go out to Baker College today, and Monday I'm going to start school. It just doesn't happen that way, does it?
Nope, it certainly doesn't.
Okay, ahead and tell me what we should do or what we should be looking for.
Sure. First, let me explain to you. My name is Christy Fogg. I am the registrar. I'm also the VA certifying official. So if you do decide, if that does decide to come to Baker, they often see me quite a bit. And what they would want to do is first start with our admissions office. They're a fantastic bunch of people. Then make sure that they get them out set and enrolled and ready to go. And then usually what happens is that the admissions person brings them down to talk with me and fill out paperwork. Of course, there's paperwork. With the military, there's always paperwork. And what we usually do is there's an application for benefits, and once they send that in, it takes a couple weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, to get some information back from the VA saying that they're eligible for benefits and what the benefits they're eligible for are. And after that, once they get registered, I certify them for enrollment, and that takes about 8 to 10 weeks to do. So like you were saying, you wouldn't see the money right away. The government runs pretty slowly, as you understand, and I always encourage students to get the application in as soon as they can and get registered as soon as they can, so the benefits will come sooner rather than later.
So when they first come to you, they need to bring like the discharge papers, the 214, and that's an important document. We've harped on this on many other segments. I don't care if you're standing there in full battle gear, if you don't have that discharge paper with you, too bad, so sad. So when you get that discharge paper, do 2 things with it. One is to take it to the county clerk's office and register it free of charge. Doesn't cost you anything. It's on permanent file there, and get some certified copies of it. Never give the official your original copy up to anybody, but you can get certified copies. And so when you bring them down to college, they can get a copy of that and they can start the paper, because you have to have that. But you guys have all the VA forms in, all the forms that they're going to need to qualify or to sign this up.
Yes, or they can be found online. And we have a packet that we give new veterans who are coming into our system, and it tells them the website, it gives my information if they have any trouble.
So if I got back, say, the beginning of the summer, and I'm looking at the fall semester, I just start almost when I get back.
Yes.
It's coming to see you, number one, and finding out what the timetable is and getting registered and getting committed to classes, and then my paperwork goes in as far as the reimbursement comes. But I still might have to look at a few months out-of-pocket expenses until I'm reimbursed, or is that how that works?
Let me jump in, because as Christy mentioned, she plays a great part in this because she has all of the background, knows all of the rules, has the forms, works with it so well, and she knows it as well, she knows her name. What first happens when they come to see us, though, they're going to meet with us first in admissions, and what we want to do is before we even talk about the benefit part of it and financial aid and all that, we want to talk about what do they want to do with their lives. What's out there, and is there demand for it? There's nothing is worse to me or any of us in admissions to have people go through college anywhere and get done and there's not a job. We don't want that. And so looking at Baker, the first thing we want them to understand about us is our mission. And our mission is all about employability. The Baker College mission is to make sure that our graduates get quality education and training that will result in careers that they will enjoy and can have for the rest of their lives. And so everything we have here is employable, and we will talk to them about what's employable and what's out there, what's in demand, so they're not going down dead-end paths. And so that's what we first want to do, is help them establish a career goal. How might that look for you? How long will it take? Do you want a 1-year certificate, 2-year associate degree, 4-year bachelor degree? What's going to work for you? And how will that go? So we get them the catalog and the missions paperwork, how to get started here at Baker. And we also talk about funding. And part of that, of course, is going to be Christy and going to be the VA paperwork. And what we need them to do, though, is apply for financial aid to supplement what they can get through the VA benefits. And so we want them to fill out the federal application for free student aid, and we want to make sure that that is done timely, because that takes time too for us to get the results back on that. But they're able then to use financial aid benefits along with their VA benefits, and that will take longer, as Christy said. It will take a little longer for that to come in. Right now, financial aid probably is about 2 to 4 weeks, but then we know, and they're able to use those benefits. So that's one thing we want to get done right away. And then part of their initial visit, besides the career counseling that we want to do and helping them know the paperwork to get started at Baker to become a student and to get financial aid, we then take them down to see Christy, where that other part is completed, where they get the paperwork, and Christy knows exactly what they need to have. And she's very good at helping us know the paperwork too, because we're very much aware of the DD-214s and that they have to show type of discharge, and we know the kinds of things that we're looking for to help her to make sure that we get the most amount of money, because let's face it, going on to college is not, it costs money, it's not a free thing, and we want to maximize their ability to be able to go to school.
I think that's really important, because even in the military, when you first go to see your recruiters, they take a battery of tests to say, you know, where's your aptitude lie? You may not have even thought about a particular career field before, because you just haven't thought about it. And they take these tests and say, well, you would be most suited for this, this, or this.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, in the military, there are a number of jobs that just don't compute to the outside world, like you know, driving a tank and handling missiles, you know, that kind of stuff. It just, you know, it just doesn't compute.
Right.
But most of these individuals come back and they're very physically fit. And, you know, they've been through discipline and leadership, and they, you know, they're team workers. They have all those basic skills. But sometimes what the military taught you, you get out in the civilian world and say, well, that's really nice, but there's just nothing here for you.
Yes.
So then you get like, well, you know, I've been doing this for 4 years. Maybe I should just stay back in the military. So you don't stop and think about what else can I do. And that's what's very important, is to come to see you guys and say,
Yes.
what do you think I can do? I'm starting from zero, you know. And I think in the olden days, they used to say, you know, if you had 1 or 2 jobs in your whole lifetime, that was pretty much normal. You could join the place and stay with it until you're retired and whatever else. But now I think they say 7 or 8 times in your lifetime you're going to change careers.
Right.
You got to be flexible for that. And that's a pretty scary thing to do, is come out of that cocoon and be uncomfortable, and they'll say, now you're going to try this or you're going to do this. And so if you're going to invest that time and that money, then you want to make sure you're doing it in the right way. And that's very important, to get that counseling that you need and the guidance, because that's, you know, go to professionals. That's what you guys are supposed to do.
That's right.
You know?
And it's free. It costs time, just a little bit of time, and it's time well spent. And you know, you're talking about those skills, Dave, and those are transferable skills. So we're going to say, okay, you did this in the military. Now in civilian life, you might want to transfer those skills to be this, but we need to finish out your training in this way, in this direction, and go towards this. So we make suggestions. We also do a battery of testing that's free that we do. I know they may have had some in the military, but we'll do some free testing too to see if we can establish interest areas and good areas for them to go into, because we do want to give them good information and solid information to go in a way that would help them and be of interest to them.
I know when I came out, I did the same thing. I finished my degrees in the military, and the cost. You know, here you have a ticket, you paid for it by serving your country for this GI Bill. But you talk to some kids that just are going this on their own, and a lot of times you come out with some pretty hefty school loans after 4 years and get your degree. And there's an opportunity as a veteran to come out and get through college and have a lot of help from Uncle Sam, that you've earned it, to help pay those bills. And so that takes the pressure off you. You're not coming out with a lot of debt. And applying for those free grants. And it's just great that you guys will guide them and say, look, here's other resources out there, so that you can live, you know, okay. You're not going to, you know, eat steak every night, but you can live okay, go to school full time, and not be buried in debt when you finish with your degree and stuff. And I think that's an important thing to do. Another question I had with a lot of guys is, I think you're just afraid. You know, I think they've been out of high school for 4 years, or 3 years, or 4 years, and the thought. And I always tell them, I say, you know, the toughest college course you're ever going to take is the first one. It's committing to that very first course, signing up for it, and following through and finishing. And after that, I say, well, no, that wasn't so bad. And then you go after that. It's that commitment to, I want to further my education stuff. So that's important.
I want to react to that, because we hear that a lot, not just with the veterans, but we hear that with a lot of students coming back to school. And one thing that eases a lot of their minds is to understand that, given our mission, which is so much about employability, is so, fits adults so well. And so our population here, if you look at it, and Christy knows this too, we're probably 65 to 70% non-traditional age, which means, you know, students are going to be, the average age would be above, definitely close to 30, if not more. And there are a lot of adults going to school here, a lot of non-traditional, which is 25 and older. And so their comfort level seeing more people like them who've been away from school for a while. And so they're not just going to school, no offense, but they're not just going with 18-year-olds that are here. There's their comfort level there with that. And we know that. And also having smaller class sizes. You know, we're not like traditional colleges. We don't have the university setting with large lecture halls. And our average class size is probably around 22 students in a class. And so the comfort level of coming back in, you're not going to be thrown into the large lecture halls or feel overwhelmed in that respect. So there's plenty of help, if I can throw that in as well. And Christy and I are very proud of the fact that we have tutoring labs, and the students who come here, if they need any extra help at all, they can have free tutoring right from the start. That's important, that they have extra help if they need it. And we find really it's, as you just hit the nail on the head when you said that first class, that first quarter, just get their feet underneath them and get going, and we're going to help them, and we're going to be there to support them, and they're going to be fine after that. Just make up their mind, I can do this, and we're going to be there to help them, and then they're going to be fine.
And I think a thing a lot of people don't do is ask the questions, is ask for help.
Yes.
You know, you think of it, I don't want to sound like I'm, yeah. This is a dumb question. When I said, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
Correct.
The only dumb question is one that wasn't asked. You know, that's the only one. And so it's to ask. All this support mechanisms here, you're here to help them succeed, not to fail. And if you're having a hard time or you don't know, ask the question. You know, this may sound a little silly, but do I do this, or how do I do this, or where did I find that, or again, tutoring. I'm having a tough time with this course, and I think I'm going to fail it. But don't wait until you're halfway through the semester and you got bad grades and the teacher says, you're done. Early on, say, I'm struggling with this. Is there some help I can get the tutoring? And then find out that, hey, there's somebody here to help you, and it's not going to cost you anything, and save you from repeating that, because it's tough. College is not easy. You got to be committed. But you can make it, especially when you look around and you see the older students going back. It's the workforce. Like we said, in the old days, you had a couple of jobs if you're lucky. That was it. But now we find people in their 30s, 40s, 50s have to go back and get retooled and find out some new skills. And the old dog and new trick, scenario, it happens. You can do that, and you can be retrained, and it's not as bad as you think it is.
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty exciting sometimes when you find something new that I never thought I could do that. I thought about your culinary school. I was just allowed to come down and take some classes. I watched that Food Network all the time. Said it'd be kind of cool to be able to do that. And here we have one right here in Muskegon now, and that's amazing. That campus downtown is just absolutely beautiful. And the food prepared. I think a lot of people get excited about that. Everybody likes to think they're kind of a backyard chef or something, but to find the right way to do it makes it a lot more fun, like anything you're going to do. So.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. We have to have some sponsors. They have to get their dues to put the show on, so you get all this great information. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you.